And let's just stay right here on this game because I want to talk about both of them real quick. First off,
right.
Sam Howell looked good. He did.
Yes, he did.
Sam Howell knows how to play the game. He just got a great feel of, wait, let me hang in the pocket and make the throw. Wait, here's a lane. Let me scramble. Let me make a play that way. He plays bigger than his actual size. I think that's one thing that jumps out to me.
Yep.
I was impressed with him. Again, his arm doesn't go wow to me. I don't go, oh, wow. And there's some things I'd like to see him change in his mechanics a little bit. But I thought overall he could spin the ball. He spun the ball very well in the game the other night. And I thought really, made some nice throws and really looked good. And I was impressed, maybe more impressed than I thought I would be with Sam Howell.
Look, I wasn't, the big fan coming out. I thought he was a third or fourth round quarterback. I thought, well, they'll take him in third because he's productive. He's got some. I hate to talk in these terms. He's got some juice. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He showed it.
He's a poor man Baker Mayfield almost to a degree.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
Maybe not as quick and doesn't have Baker's complete arm, but I thought he made some power throws. I think I heard, this morning, I don't know who was talking about Washington. They just said, hey, Sam Howell has a big-time NFL arm. And I think it was one of the coaches down there. I can't remember which one or who said it. I know this. Scott Turner's the offensive coordinator there in Washington, and he gave his quarterbacks all a chance to have success.
He did.
They were running just about everything.
Right.
Little pick plays, everything they were doing. I was going, man, he's letting his quarterbacks get into the game and get confidence. And when you watch it, it won't happen. But Sam Howell excites me. I was so happy or impressed with what he did in the game that I go, damn, are you going to give him a chance to be the backup quarterback? I know Taylor Heinecke played well last year. I liked him. But there is definitely a difference in the physical ability, the size, even the movement, because Sam Howell's strong.
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
big, thick dude.
Yep.
And honestly, that was one thing I wasn't crazy about. I said, damn, he's big.
Right.
And, in North Carolina, but he looked in great shape, moved around, and really impressed.
I wondered the same thing and wouldn't be shocked to see if, he certainly has got more talent than Heinecke, certainly, and has more of a presence on the football field, and you said it, just has more physical ability. I was kind of wondering the same thing.
Well, what happens is when you watch the game and you see them back-to-back, I'm not getting into the total results or nothing like that, just going, wow, that it just jumped out to me really that quick, that decisive for me. And I don't think it'll happen, Christopher, but it's one of those things that give them enough practice time and all that they could do the same thing. Like in week 6, all of a sudden, well, he's our backup now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
all right, let's switch to the other team there. Matt Corral. He's my number one guy coming out in the draft. And I'm going to just I was not in love with what I saw. I can't even lie. And again, I don't give a shit about stats. It was 1 for 9, and they were a little overwhelmed for sure.
Yeah,
but
I was a little surprised. I thought to see more. I said it when he came out. I can't remember if I said Kenny Pickett was our number one or Matt Corral. I had them both up there. I thought Matt Corral was going to translate to the NFL really well, but I said he looked small in college on the field.
He looked really
small out there.
Yes,
and he got a little rattled in the game.
He did.
He did. He got some pressure, got a little rattled. So we'll see. But there could be a big jump for him. But I think also the other thing, what are they going to do there? Because P.J. Walker, he's from Jersey, not far from where you grew up.
Yep.
And, man, he's got a really good arm.
Yes,
and he has great feet, and he can move. He did it in that league he was in. I don't even know what the hell the league is. I forgot the name of it. But, that's why he's still around. Now, he hasn't produced when he's played for the Carolina Panthers. He's been an interception machine just off the top of my head. I don't know his numbers. But still, there's a lot to like about him, and if he's your backup quarterback, I'd actually feel pretty good about that too.
I would too. I would. Yeah, you're right. They got 4 guys that can throw the football there in Carolina. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But I echo what you said with Matt Corral too. Looked small, and just looked like he was a little bit rattled and didn't make much happen. Didn't change any arm angles a few times when he had pressure in his pocket. The ball got batted down, I think, once or twice.
Yeah.
So I was not overly impressed with his overall look, and we'll see if it gets better. As we go along here.
It's going to get better this week. Ben McAdoo, they're going to give him more opportunities or whatever, easier. They're going to make it work. The game, when he came in, I will say this, now, you see these ebbs and flows of preseason games. All of a sudden, Washington's fired up. Here, we're going to play now.
Yeah, right. It was.
And so I thought the intensity against him was a little more than it was for some of the other guys.
Yeah, no question.
Got to get better.
No question. All right, let's go to Malik Willis, the Tennessee Titans. All right, so I'll throw out my 2 cents here first, Dad. Anybody who's watching, first off, he got taken out in the game on the first drive of the third quarter on a second down, which is really rare. It really is. And I'm going to throw this out there, and I said this on Pro Football Talk. I'm not so sure it wasn't a tactical thing done by Mike Vrabel. I'm not. Again, just to quiet the murmur a little bit on the Ryan Tannehill front, to make sure everybody knows who the starting quarterback is there, in Tennessee. Malik Willis, he did some highlight things in the game, certainly, and that's all everybody talked about. But I think you and I both know, I watched the film last night a little bit. He left, there was people open almost on every time he dropped back to throw the football. And he was watching the rush or relying on his legs. Like he alluded to it after the football game. I will say this, though. I like Malik Willis's look. Again, for a guy that's 6'1", man, he looks bigger than 6'1". He is strong looking, and I like Malik Willis's motion throwing the football. I mean, even a few of the incompletions, I just went, shit, it looks good. And again, I know we could talk about, trust, Justin Fields and Trey Lance, they had completions or whatever else. And I go, yeah, I like some of Malik Willis's incompletions as much as anything there, just the way it looked. So I know I threw a lot out of you there, but I do like the talent. I can get behind that for sure. He looks like he belongs, but he's raw as hell as far as playing in the pocket, and that was very apparent in that game.
Well, he was in college, so let's don't be shocked by that.
That's right.
And, listen, when you have the ability to run like he does, why wait?
Yeah, I know.
So there's a line there, and you got to learn to do both. Like Lamar Jackson last year. I thought Lamar Jackson was more patient in the pocket when he played last year than he had been in his career because, he had a better feel and he's learned to adjust. And Malik Willis, we'll say it, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, if you want to put those three in the thing, he's a better passer and a better thrower than those guys.
Right.
And I loved his motion in college. And he makes every throw. You wrote it in your notes or whatever I saw. You said, wow, he makes every throw look easy. Right. He throws 18-yard sideline routes like he's throwing it to his son in the backyard and catch. It's so easy for him.
Right.
And I don't think he has a son.
We know what you mean. You got you.
But, wow, just seeing him on the field, I couldn't get over when I watched the game on TV. I just went, oh, my God, look at his legs.
His legs. He's got some pair of legs and ass on him for sure.
Those are, I'm trying to think, who's got the biggest legs you've seen at running back? I'm trying to think of a guy that's just, Earl Campbell. I mean, it's, oh, my God, his legs. And so Mike Vrabel, I think he was doing it not for Ryan Tannehill. I think he was doing it for Malik Willis.
Right.
To go, we got to get a little better at just running the offense.
Right.
We know you can get outside and make some plays, but let's wait till there's nothing there. And that's how Vrabel is awesome.
He is awesome.
Damn. I mean, he's awesome. I mean, he's nothing but a football guy, and I've talked about him many times.
Yeah, he's Belichick and Parcells-ish. He's our kind of guy.
But with a whole different attitude towards the players. I hate to say it, he's today's guy. As he said last year, I saw him do the interview with Bill Cowher. It's relationships with the players, and he does a great job with that because then they listen to him and they play for him. So he knows what he's doing with Malik Willis. And listen, if you're Ryan Tannehill, you must have hated watching him play the other night. I would have. If I was the starting quarterback and he came in and looked like that, I go, oh, my God, this guy's some pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it ain't going to quiet anything, Christopher.
I know it's not.
It's not. And the fans of Tennessee, they're going to – because we're still talking about Ryan Tannehill's 3 interceptions in the playoff game.
Yeah.
It still comes up constantly. And That's the era we live in. I'm not even going to bitch about it anymore. Boy, I can't believe I'm saying these words. But I'm not going to bitch about it anymore because that's just part of being an NFL quarterback and what it's about. And we got 9,000 ex-players like us sitting here talking about it and going over it, and you just got to deal with it. But overall, I was wow about Malik Willis. I think that just says it all for me.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We're on the same page. I know.
The decision making.
Yeah. That's.
I don't care.
Right.
They're gonna
He'll
get
figure it out. He'll get better. You're right. I know.
Man.
That's what's scary. He could fit their style of football very
he fits
easily.
The team.
I know. You're right. Run, be gritty, make a big 20-yard out throw here when they're stacking the box against Derrick Henry. Here's a play action bomb 80 yards down the middle. Here's the read option off the edge. Oh, shit, he ran for 20 around the edge. Oh, they pulled the guard and ran quarterback power. I know, he does. He fits the team. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. Yeah, you just got to get better, but I'm with you. I love the way he looked, too.
Is there a stronger runner in the NFL than him at quarterback? I don't think so. Stronger. I mean, because it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's him and Josh Allen, I think.
It's Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts is not Malik, though. Malik Willis, oh, my gosh. I mean, I'll tell you, the decision, he got outside the pocket, maybe one of his first throws, and there's the tight end or the running back 5 yards from him. Throw it to him. He's going to get 10 yards.
I know.
But he's looking to get a big play because he's still a college quarterback.
Right.
And, he'll learn, what did I tell you when you became a pro? Son, you hadn't even been there yet. You're going to learn to love the 2-yard completion. And you were like, oh, yeah. And then you came back from your first foray down and you go, damn, Dad, you were right. Oh, I was just making it up, son. Don't listen to me. I wouldn't know. But you learn to love as a quarterback. Screens, quick throws, little completions, whatever. And he'll learn that, too, down in Tennessee.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so we love Malik Willis. We saw some rawness. But those are things that I think that are easy to fix because the throwing and the athleticism and just the physical stature is there. All right. Guy in Detroit, Atlanta, Desmond Ritter got a lot of throws in the football game. You and I were, I think, a lot of things we liked about Desmond Ritter coming out in the draft as far as the leader, the man that way, played some big-time college football. When the pocket does break or anything like that, he's dangerous and can run. We were a little underwhelmed by his throwing. It can be very inconsistent that way. I don't know if he can really step on the gas when it comes to let me throw some type of rocket down the middle of the field. And I'm sure I'm still not sold on that. But it was better. It was. And I know, again, I know it was below 50% completion percentage and all that. He had a drop or two. But I did think he threw the ball better than I ever saw him throw it at Cincinnati. Do you agree? Do you concur, Doctor?
Yeah, well, they let it be more about him. At Cincinnati, I just always felt like they were working around. It was everything. It's our defense. We're going to run the ball a little. I never felt like, wow, just line up and let him be the star.
Right.
I just didn't. But, yeah, I thought he threw the ball okay. I did, just watching it closely. I just wasn't. It wasn't
not
as clean
wowing.
as I thought.
Right.
No, and I'll say this. I think his arm is, I'll be kind. And just because I need more. But I think I watched everything in college. But it's right in NFL average.
It's average, exactly right.
And his thing is, yes, he's a leader. He's got a presence. He is tall, and the fact that he can move around. He showed that speed when he broke the pocket a few times. But I just wonder how big of a point will that be in games when he gets there and we see real NFL defenses where they're game planning and all that. They're gonna make him make throws to beat us.
Yes.
And I got to say this real too. I thought Marcus Mariota, when he was out in Las Vegas or whatever, he changed who he was. He's in unbelievable shape. I think his throwing's back on par where it was early in his career. I think it's gotten better. And his legs, he's as fast as I've seen him. It's been a long time, really. It feels like it's been 5 years since he was a starting quarterback and all those things. But I was impressed with him.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. I think he kind of fits the offense that Arthur Smith is going to run, and I'll give Arthur Smith a lot of credit too. I like how he called the preseason game again. They let their guys get out there and play.
Right.
They weren't, let's just hand it off and, we'll throw, whatever. It was really good. I thought he played it wide open. He gave Desmond Ritter a chance to get 2 games under his belt instead of just one little game action. So that was really good. And, overall, you got to be happy with Desmond Ritter, but you got to be happy about Marcus Mariota, where you're going with him too, I think.
Yeah, I hear you there. You're right. And Ritter, the thing I liked was there was 2 things. First off, in college, I mean, he didn't even throw a lot of spirals. That was the first thing. And then in college, always had the damn wide open front shoulder. Not like Sam Howell did, but it was always open to a point where I go, man, can you just turn into one? I did think I saw Dave Ragone, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. I thought that was the first throw of the game. I went, oh, look at Desmond Ritter trying to keep his front shoulder in there a little bit more. I did think the motion looked a hair tighter, but there's no gas on the ball, to your point.
No.
It's nice. It's controlled. He had an interception to the left. If anybody wants to go back and watch on an out route, the ball was in the air for 4 minutes. It got called back because of a penalty. I don't know if it was holding or roughing the passer. I can't remember. Yeah, right. So that was that. Had another pass that was intercepted later in the game. Had the balls that just die out when they get to the target. So I'm with you. The throwing is less than. It's not quite where you want it to be, and I wasn't impressed with that as maybe a Sam Howell who showed me a little bit more pizzazz and juice in his arm, maybe more than I even saw in college. Ritter, he corrected some things, but was not necessarily in love with it. And I think you're right. It's about NFL average as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Is he going to make – we talked about it earlier. Is he going to make 3 or 4 of these let me just be – I'm not even going to say the words. Just be that guy. I'm going to rip it in there. The Brett Favre,
Yeah, right.
I've told this story many times. I did a show with Bill Parcells. They were playing Green Bay that week. Brett Favre threw a touchdown between a safety and a corner, which, even Brett Favre probably goes, why did I throw it? And it's a touchdown. And Parcells said to me, Simms, why do you think he made that throw? And I said, because he thought he could get it in there, Bill. Yeah. And Bill goes, damn, that's a good point. That's it. So they see it, but Desmond Ritter is not that guy. I don't think he'll ever turn into that guy, but he still can be a really good starter in the NFL. And again, I'm just, these guys, just watching everything this weekend. This is a blanket statement, but I didn't probably study the quarterbacks as much this past year because I tell you, I just got so sick of listening to everything on TV. I go, I'm going to get out of this game. But I'm going to judge guys a little differently coming out now. They're getting so many reps. Everybody's in a passing offense in college, or most of them.
Right.
And they just come in the league differently.
They do.
And they're used to playing in front of big crowds. They play in big programs most of the time. So, okay, so what? They got a few more. But if you play at Georgia, you're playing pro football.
Yeah, right.
Or Alabama, some of these teams. But so I got to be careful how I judge them. And I think I'd hit Desmond Ritter right on the nose as far as everything that I kind of saw in that game. But again, with Arthur Smith, how they run that offense, he's a good fit for it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.